Ladies and gentlemen, take a moment to breathe, to pause, and to let your heart settle in this very moment. Each one of us carries burdens, some visible, some hidden deep within, but all of them weigh on our spirit. Life does not always go the way we hope, and there are days when darkness seems to stretch longer than the light. Yet, in the midst of that struggle, there exists a power far greater than fear, far stronger than doubt. The power of truth, the power of hope, and the power of words that can awaken the courage within us. Tonight, I invite you to open your heart, to listen not just with your ears, but with your very soul. There are words ahead that have the capacity to transform the way you see yourself, the way you see your journey, and the way you step forward into tomorrow. These are not mere words. They are a call to life, a whisper of possibility, and a reminder that no matter how heavy the weight, hope is never out of reach. Let us take this moment together and let it stir something deep inside you, something that can change everything. Every person you meet carries a story that the world may never fully see. There are moments in life when the weight of the world feels unbearable, when the challenges you face seem too great, when the burdens of yesterday and the worries of tomorrow press down upon your shoulders so heavily that you wonder how you will ever move forward. We all have those days when doubt creeps in, when fear whispers in the quiet corners of our minds, when it feels as if the light has dimmed and the path ahead is shrouded in darkness. Perhaps you have faced loss, disappointment, or failure. Times when your heart ached and your spirit longed for a glimpse of hope. And yet, here you are, still standing, still breathing, still searching for that spark that reminds you of who you truly are and what you are capable of becoming. Life is not gentle, and it does not always reward the good or punish the wrong. It can seem unfair, unkind, and unyielding, yet there is a rhythm, a design, even in the chaos, that invites us to grow stronger, to rise higher, and to reach deeper into the well of our own courage. The struggles you face, the trials that feel impossible, these are not signs of weakness, but invitations to awaken the strength within you. Every heartache, every moment of sorrow, every night spent wondering if things will ever change, carries within it a seed of resilience, of insight, of transformation. It is in these very moments when the weight feels heaviest that the deepest work is being done, that the greatest lessons are being planted, often unseen, often unnoticed, but always present. It is easy to look at another person and see only their success, their smile, their calm and steady life, and think that they are untouched by struggle. Yet every life carries its battles. Every soul bears scars. We may never know the storms that others have weathered, the nights they have spent in quiet desperation, the moments when their faith wavered and their hope flickered like a fragile candle in the wind. And if that is true for others, it is certainly true for us. We are all walking through life, carrying burdens that sometimes feel too heavy to bear, wondering if anyone else understands, questioning if anyone else has ever felt the way we do. And in that shared human experience, there is a profound truth. No one is truly alone. No matter how isolated your struggle feels, there are countless hearts that have known and will know the same weight, the same fear, the same uncertainty. And so, it is in acknowledging our struggles that we find the first step toward freedom, to name our pain, to face it, to allow ourselves to feel it fully, is not weakness. It is courage. It is in the simple act of admitting, this is hard and it matters to me, that we begin to unlock a door that leads to hope. For the very act of recognition transforms our pain from something that is merely endured into something that can teach, something that can shape, something that can propel us forward into the life we are meant to live. Struggle is not the enemy. It is a companion, sometimes unwelcome, sometimes harsh, but always with a purpose. It tests our resolve. It challenges our priorities. It stretches the limits of what we believe we can endure. And in doing so, it reveals the extraordinary capacity of the human heart. Even in moments of despair, even when the night seems endlessly long and the morning impossibly far away, there is a whisper, a quiet reminder that the dawn will come. And when it does, we are not the same as we were the night before. We carry with us the lessons of the dark, the strength forged in fire, the clarity that emerges from struggle. And so, while life may be relentless in its trials, it is equally generous in its opportunities for growth, for renewal, for awakening to the beauty that exists even amid the pain. Your story is not defined by your hardships alone, but by the courage you summon to face them, by the hope you cling to when all seems lost, by the love you nurture even when the world feels cold and unforgiving. So, let us look squarely at our struggles, not with fear, but with courage. Let us recognize them, honor them, and allow them to teach us something profound about ourselves. For it is in the acknowledgement of life's trials, in the acceptance of our own vulnerability, that we begin to awaken to the power, the resilience, and the hope that resides within each of us, waiting for the moment when we are ready to embrace it fully. Words have a power that is both gentle and unstoppable, a force that can lift the heaviest of hearts or awaken the deepest parts of our souls. They are not merely sounds or letters on a page. They are the seeds from which courage grows, the sparks that ignite hope, and the whispers that remind us of who we truly are. The right words, spoken at the right moment, have the ability to change the course of a life, to bring light into the darkest of places, and to turn despair into determination. Think for a moment of the times in your life when a single phrase, a single message changed the way you saw yourself, the way you approached a challenge, or the way you chose to move forward. Those words became more than words. They became a guide, a comfort, a beacon that directed your steps when the path seemed uncertain. And faith in something larger than ourselves, in the unseen but deeply felt, has the same transformative power. It is the quiet assurance that even in the midst of confusion, even when the storms rage around us, there is a foundation that will not crumble, a source of strength that does not fade. Faith allows us to believe in possibilities we cannot yet see, to trust in outcomes we cannot yet imagine, and to find courage when fear threatens to paralyze us. It is the voice inside that says, keep going, even when everything around you seems to suggest stopping. And when words and faith come together, when messages of hope are carried by a heart that believes, the effect is profound. It becomes impossible to remain the same, impossible not to be touched, impossible not to be moved towards something greater. Consider the times when you felt utterly alone, when the weight of uncertainty threatened to overwhelm you. Perhaps it was the voice of a loved one offering encouragement, a mentor speaking words that stirred your spirit, or even a phrase read or heard that spoke directly to your heart. Those moments are powerful, not because they erase hardship or make pain disappear, but because they remind us that we are not powerless, that we are not trapped, that we have the ability to rise, to endure, and to transform. Words are reminders of our potential, and faith is the fuel that allows us to act upon them. Together, they are a lifeline, a bridge from where we are to where we are meant to go, a quiet but undeniable force that reshapes our hearts and minds. Faith is not always easy. It does not come with guarantees, and it does not shield us from difficulty. Yet it provides a steady hand when life feels unsteady, a calm in the storm, a light when darkness surrounds us. And words carefully chosen, spoken with sincerity, have the power to awaken that faith, to remind us that we are capable, that we are seen, and that we are loved even in our moments of doubt. There is an inherent truth in words that resonate with the heart. When spoken in alignment with hope and belief, they do more than comfort. They empower. They call us to action, to reflection, to courage, and to the persistent pursuit of our best selves. Imagine what life could look like if we truly embrace the words that lift us, the words that challenge us, and the words that inspire us. Imagine the strength that could flow through our hearts if we allowed faith to guide us through every trial, to hold us steady when fear threatens, to remind us that even the smallest step forward matters. There is a transformative beauty in this combination, the ability to take what seems impossible and make it attainable, to take the ordinary and uncover the extraordinary, to find meaning even in moments of confusion. So let us be attentive to the words we encounter, the messages we receive, and the faith we cultivate. Let us recognize their power not as abstract ideas, but as living forces capable of shaping our lives in profound ways. For every word that encourages, every phrase that uplifts, every message that instills belief carries with it the potential to awaken courage, to spark hope, and to inspire action. And when that awakening happens, when faith is stirred and words are embraced with an open heart, there is nothing that can hold us back from stepping into the life we were always meant to live. Take a moment now, just a single moment, to pause from the busyness of life, to step away from the noise and the endless demands that pull at your attention, and to turn inward. In the quiet spaces of your heart, there is a voice that has always been there, gentle yet persistent, waiting for you to listen. It is a voice that speaks not with urgency or expectation, but with clarity, inviting you to reflect on who you are, on the journey you have traveled, and on the possibilities that lie ahead. Life moves swiftly, and so often we rush past the very moments that could teach us the most, that could show us the depth of our strength, the breadth of our courage, and the limitless nature of our potential. But when we pause, when we allow ourselves to step back and consider the path we have walked, something remarkable happens. We begin to see patterns, to recognize lessons, to feel gratitude for the challenges that have shaped us and the victories, both large and small, that have carried us forward. Reflection is not merely thinking, it is feeling, it is perceiving, it is opening the eyes of the heart to the truths that are often hidden in plain sight. It is a sacred invitation to consider not just what has happened to us, but how we have responded, how we have grown, and how we can continue to grow. There is a profound power in looking honestly at ourselves and examining our choices, our hopes, our fears, and even our failures. For within that reflection lies the opportunity to learn, to adjust, to find new clarity, and to embrace the life that is waiting for us with open arms. It is easy to be distracted by the external world, to allow its chaos, its expectations, and its pressures to cloud our judgment and dull our awareness. But when we pause to reflect, when we listen to the quiet voice within, we reconnect with our true selves, and we find the guidance that has been present all along, quietly urging us forward, gently nudging us toward what is right, what is meaningful, and what is life-giving. Consider the moments in your life when a pause, a moment of reflection, changed everything. Perhaps it was a time of loss that forced you to reevaluate your priorities, a challenge that revealed a strength you did not know you possessed, or a simple quiet moment when the world fell away and you were left face to face with your own heart. These moments are invitations, gifts really, to see more clearly, to live more intentionally, and to align ourselves with the truth of who we are and who we are becoming. And while reflection requires courage, because it asks us to look honestly at ourselves without hiding behind excuses or distractions, it is also deeply rewarding. It allows us to separate what matters from what does not, to uncover the values that guide us, and to find a path forward that is authentic, meaningful, and grounded in purpose. Reflection also reminds us that life is not merely a series of events to be endured, but a journey to be understood. Every experience, every interaction, every triumph and trial carries a message for those willing to notice, to listen, and to learn. When we engage in reflection, we begin to see our lives not as random or chaotic, but as a series of interconnected moments, each contributing to the story of who we are. We see how our actions ripple outward, how our decisions shape not only our lives, but the lives of those around us, and how our hearts grow stronger and wiser with every step. It is in these moments of reflection that we cultivate gratitude for both the joys and the struggles, recognizing that each has played a role in shaping our character, our faith, and our understanding of what truly matters. And so, I invite you now to open your heart to this moment, to allow yourself to be present and to reflect with honesty and with courage. Let the questions rise gently within you. Who am I becoming? What lessons have I learned? What dreams still call me forward? What fears do I need to face? And in this reflection, know that you are not alone. Every heart that pauses to consider its journey is connected to countless others who have walked similar paths, who have wrestled with doubt, hope, and longing, and who have found in the stillness of reflection the clarity to move forward with purpose, courage, and faith. This invitation to reflect is not a fleeting suggestion. It is a call to awaken, to pay attention, and to embrace the wisdom that lies within your own experience, waiting patiently for the moment when you are ready to hear it fully and allow it to shape the life you were always meant to live. Every person carries within them the potential for change, the ability to rise beyond their current circumstances, and the power to become something greater than they may ever have imagined. Transformation is not a distant dream. It is not reserved for a select few who seem fortunate or chosen. It is a gift that lies within each heart, waiting to be awakened, nurtured, and embraced. Life may have brought you challenges, setbacks, and moments that felt impossible to overcome. But the truth is that these very experiences are often the catalyst for the profound growth that lies ahead. In the midst of struggle, there is always the possibility for renewal. And in every moment of doubt, there is the chance to step into a version of yourself that is stronger, wiser, and more resilient than you were yesterday. To embrace transformation, we must first acknowledge that it begins within. It starts with a shift in perspective, a willingness to see ourselves not as fixed or limited, but as living, evolving beings capable of learning, adapting, and rising above the obstacles in our path. Each challenge we face is an opportunity to stretch beyond what we thought possible, to reach into the deepest reserves of courage and perseverance, and to discover the strength that has always been quietly present within us. Transformation asks for patience, for faith, and for a commitment to keep moving forward, even when the way seems unclear. It is not always sudden or dramatic. Often, it is the accumulation of small intentional steps, the quiet decisions to rise each morning, to face fear with courage, and to persist even when progress feels slow. There is a profound beauty in the process of transformation because it touches every part of who we are. It reshapes not only our actions, but also our thoughts, our attitudes, and our relationships. As we change, we begin to see the world differently, to respond to challenges with newfound wisdom, and to approach our lives with a sense of purpose that may have been hidden before. Transformation is not just about achieving goals or overcoming obstacles. It is about becoming more fully ourselves, more aligned with our highest potential, and more aware of the unique gifts we bring to the world. It is a journey that requires courage, honesty, and a willingness to let go of what no longer serves us so that there is space for new growth, new insight, and new possibilities to emerge. Imagine the person you could become if you embrace this promise of transformation fully. Picture a heart unburdened by fear, a mind illuminated by clarity, and a spirit strengthened by the lessons of the past. Imagine the confidence that arises when you know that no matter how difficult life may seem, you have within you the ability to adapt, to learn, and to rise again. Transformation is not a one-time event. It is a continuous unfolding, a daily choice to grow, to embrace change, and to step into the life that is waiting for you. Each decision, each act of courage, each moment of reflection contributes to this journey, building a foundation of strength, resilience, and hope that will carry you through every season of life. It is important to remember that transformation is not always comfortable. Growth often requires leaving behind familiar patterns, confronting uncomfortable truths, and taking risks that test our courage. Yet these very moments of discomfort are where the most profound changes occur. They stretch us beyond our perceived limits and reveal aspects of ourselves that we may never have known existed. In these moments, transformation becomes a powerful teacher, guiding us to discover not only what we can endure, but also what we are capable of achieving. Every challenge faced, every fear confronted, and every step taken in faith contributes to the shaping of a new self, a self that is stronger, wiser, and more deeply connected to the purpose that drives our lives. So as you listen now, consider the promise that lies before you. The promise that no matter where you are, no matter what obstacles have held you back, change is possible, growth is attainable, and a new chapter of your life is waiting to be written. Transformation does not ask you to be perfect or to have all the answers. It asks only that you be willing to move forward, to embrace the lessons of the past, and to trust that within you lies the capacity to become more than you ever imagined. And when that promise is embraced, when the heart opens to the possibility of growth, a quiet but powerful shift begins. One that can ripple through every part of your life, touching the way you think, the way you feel, and the way you act, and opening the door to a life of deeper meaning, greater purpose, and lasting fulfillment. There is a quiet power in compassion, in the simple act of speaking to the heart rather than the mind alone, in reaching out not just with ideas, but with understanding, warmth, and kindness. Life can be harsh, and the path we walk is often lined with struggles that test our endurance, our patience, and even our faith. Yet even in the darkest moments, there is a light that can guide us, a gentle voice that reminds us that we are not alone, that we are seen, and that we are capable of moving forward step by step toward a better tomorrow. This voice speaks not from judgment or expectation, but from empathy, from the recognition that each human being carries their own burdens, faces their own battles, and navigates their own fears. To hear words of encouragement in a tone that is warm and compassionate is to feel a hand extended to you across the vast distance that often separates despair from hope, doubt from courage, and hesitation